The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved. Freedom March is powered by BTC.
In the House of Assembly this morning, the Minister responsible for Finance, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, presented the midterm budget to the House of Assembly. Please join Eyewitness News for further and better particulars. Meanwhile, a Negro man has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for the murder of a man whom the authorities allege was gay. It is an interesting story where a man is murdered and the murderer is only given 18 years. We look at that case because it is an interesting case that took place on Valentine's Day in 2020. So we look at it. Meanwhile, a mother and her mother have been called upon by the courts to pay $30,000 after their relative, whom they stood bail for, he took off his brand new ankle braces, just took it off, threw it in the well, and he escaped. So no one can find him, and mom and grandmother must come up with $30,000. It's powerful. Well, for the last 2 days, I have been promising to look at a dispute involving two powerful Negro officials, the Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell, who's the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party, and the Free National Movement national chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands. It is a very interesting dispute which has occurred. It involved politics, the law, medicine, and professionalism. So we hope to look at that as well. So broadcasting live from the ILTV studios, located here on University Drive, welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and today is Wednesday, the 21st of February, 2024. It's a leap year. Let's leap. It's a leap year. 29 days in February. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker, and let me start the show by saluting our blessed sovereign, King Charles III. And this is powerful. So God save the King. Well, Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and I am certain that he has on the full armor of the Lord. Behold my spiritual advisor. Brother Roll.
Thank you so much. Sounds good to be here. I didn't mean to stretch it this long, Mr. Medusa, but thank you so much anyhow. We got a reading today from the book of Mark, if I'm not mistaken. Mark chapter 12, 6 verses 20 to 34. And out of all of the 630 laws that were given to the Israelites under the Mosaic system, under the old covenant, under the old law, when they came out of Egypt, there were only two that were listed by Jesus Christ, one being the most important one, and then there was a second one. I just want to clarify something before I read this passage. And you're going to notice when I read this passage that there's no mention of any other law being as most important or greater than these two I'm about to read. Mark chapter 12. Is it 12? Yes, Mark 12. 28 to 34. Which one of the commands is the greatest one of the 630 laws that were given to the Israelites when they came out of Egypt? Verse number 28. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked them, of all the commandments, which is the most important? You gotta understand this now, because there's some people going around and all they do is they preach Sabbath, 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 Sabbath. That's all they preach. They don't even preach Jesus. They preach Sabbath. Here's the question: of all the commandments, which is the most important? The most important one, answered Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And here's the command: love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There are no commandments greater than these. This is what Jesus says. There is no commandment greater than these. Well said, teacher, the man replied. You are right in saying that God is one and there is no other but him. To love him with all your heart, with all your understanding, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is more important than all burnt offerings and sacrifices. When Jesus saw that he had answered wisely, he said to them, you are not far from the kingdom of God. And from then on, no one dared ask him any more questions. Mark 12, 28 to 34, NIV, of course. I'm reading from there today as well. The word of God is always clear, to me that is, and blessed. Thank you so much, Mr. Producer. Senator, back to you.
Thank you, my spiritual advisor. Well, folks, I'm having complaints, and I'm very concerned when I do begin to have complaints of an industrial related matter. So I'm going to ask publicly for a meeting whenever this distinguished Negro citizen has free time. I always thought I had his cell phone number, but I couldn't find it. But I would like to meet with a wonderful member of the governing Progressive Liberal Party, and his name is Mario Scott Bannister. So Mario Scott Bannister, I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope that you are in better health than I am in, but I wish to have a meeting with you so that we can talk industrial relationship. I think it would be powerful if we can talk so that we can ensure that all citizens their complaints can be given to you. So if anybody sees Mr. Bannister, please ask him to give me a call, for I yearn to sit down with him and talk about the industry. I think it would be powerful for today, and this is great. Well, having said that, there are some interesting things that are taking place in the country. This morning, the Parliament of the Bahamas met, and of course, Prime Minister Philip Davis, if I have my information correctly, because I'm getting old, he would have presented the midterm budget. So I'm not in possession of the documents that the Prime Minister would have laid on the table of the Parliament. Nevertheless, I am certain that the news below me, Eyewitness News, they are ready to tell the public precisely what took place today in the Honorable House of Assembly. I think it's going to be very interesting when we learn of what the Prime Minister has introduced to the Parliament. Meanwhile, there is a case that has been in the Supreme Court in which a Negro citizen has been sentenced to prison for 18 years. It is a very interesting case because the allegations is that Jamal Russell, he is the deceased, on Facebook invited Jermaine Sterling to visit him, and Jermaine was attracted to Jamal Russell, for he looked like a young female. And so, according to the press reports, he called upon Mr. Jamal Russell at Mr. Russell's home, or yes, they socialized. There was the drinking of wine and island rum. There was the smoking of marijuana. Everybody got high. They were all on dope and they were all half drunk. It was during that period that Jermaine Sterling alleges that from his observation and from some of the things that Mr. Russell was doing, that it dawned on him that this was not a female. And instead, he became suspicious that this was a man. And when he discovered that this was in fact a man, perhaps some people call him a cross-dresser, he proceeded to strangle Jamal Russell to death. All of this incident took place on Valentine's Day or night. That would be February 14, 2020. Yeah. And so he did not release him until he was dead. And then he proceeded to place his body in a container. But eventually, the authorities became aware, an investigation was conducted, and Jermaine Sterling was charged with murder. So this is an interesting case that came before His Lordship, Justice Andrew Thompson, Justice Andrew Forbes, Justice Andrew Forbes. And somehow there appears, my observation, it's my observation. Remember, I am not a professional. But from my observation, it appears that there was a compromise, negotiation, and Jermaine Sterling pleaded guilty to manslaughter, and the judge sentenced him to 18 years for killing a whole man, a man whom is described as a gay man, a man whom they describe as a cross-dresser. Was justice served when murder is committed? Yeah, the man is gay. Yeah, the man was wearing dress. Yeah, the man fooled him. Or he was a fool and he thought the man was a woman. I'm going to read the story to you so that young people will understand that you do not date on social media. You don't do that because social media can be very misleading if we are to accept the fact that truth is being told here. So let's see what we can determine. Demain Sterling being slammed with an 18-year sentence to prison after he was accused of killing a gay man. He pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of 40-year-old Jamal Russell. The two met on Facebook, and according to the prosecution, Sterling believed that Russell was a woman. Sterling went to Russell's home where they drank and smoked marijuana dope. Russell allegedly came on to Sterling, who responded that Russell was moving like a woman, like a man. Russell was moving like a man. This resulted in an altercation, and Sterling strangled Russell with a scarf. After killing Russell, Sterling hid his body in a storage bin, removed the bed sheets, and burned them. Police officers found his body in a bin near the window of his home on February 14, 2020. In handing down the sentence, Justice Andrew Forbes argued that the crime was the result of senseless violence and that Russell's life still had value despite his personal choices. So the judge found that the gay man, that would be Jamal Russell, well, what did he found? This is, I'm treading, so let me see. The judge found that the gay man, his life still had value despite his personal choice. How would you have dealt with a situation if you went on social media and took a whole man, a gay man, for a woman, and then you find yourself where both of you are smoking dope, dangerous drugs, and drinking alcohol, and then you discover, based on how he was moving, that this was not in fact a female but a male. Would you take a scarf and strangle him to death? Or would you just say to him, man, what the hell this is you trying to do with I? Can't you see that I is a straight man and I'm not dealing with anything that is body, and just walk away? Or do you think the solution to that was to take a scarf and kill a whole man? I say that the crime of murder must be punished by capital punishment. And I will not accept as a defense that you thought the gay man was a woman and he fooled you, and when you saw the way he was shaking like a man, and therefore you decided that the only justice you could obtain is to commit the crime of murder. My spiritual advisor, do you wish to comment or not?
No.
Very well. So this is what we are faced with in our society, where our people are not saved. Our people are out to have pleasure, and any foolishness they see on social media, anything they see on Facebook, they see on WhatsApp, they invite themselves to be engaged in it. So it's a very serious matter. I felt that His Lordship did not give sufficient prison time. 18 years? 18 years? I think the court should have given at least 60 years. At least 60 years. I mean, after smoking dope with the man, after drinking wine with the man. Yeah, the man misled you. But after smoking all that dope, with that body man, you then murder him. I think you could have just chased him and tell him, run, not eat red and come. It's a serious matter, but this is what's going on in our country. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let there be justice. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and we are looking at some of the cases that came before our courts. There is a very interesting one. You will note that there has been some concern expressed by the Bahamas government as it relates to the usage of the ankle monitors. So you will remember that the government has written a letter to those who are in that business, and they have called upon them to tell the government why perhaps they should not lose the contract, and to provide information that would satisfy the government that to the extent that they have displeased the government, they are able to improve. So let's look at a case that has taken place where grandmother and mother, they stood bail for a young man. Let's see who this young man is, because having stood $30,000 bail for him, he was given like a brand new monitor, but he has disappeared, and from the evidence, apparently he was successful in taking off the ankle brace and throwing it in a well. Now, no one could find him, and poor mom and Grammy, they will have to find $30,000. And for those of you who are quite familiar with the culture, when you can't suck mommy, you suck Grammy. So Grammy is going to be sucked. So let's look at it. Man disappears before murder trial, leaving family $30,000 fee. And this is how it goes. A grandmother and a mother must pay $30,000 after the man for whom they stood surety allegedly threw his ankle monitoring bracelet into a well and disappeared months before his murder trial. Supreme Court Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson ruled on Monday that Allardyce Moxie, 80, and Marisa Roll, 40, must pay the funds after they fail to locate Rashad Paul, 33, who went missing early last month. Miss Moxie, Paul's grandmother, and Miss Roll, his kid's mother, signed a $30,000 bail form for him in May 2020 after he was accused of killing Kirby Pierre in 2019. Paul was required to report to police regularly, keep his curfew, and wear an ankle monitoring bracelet. However, police allege that the bracelet, his bail conditions, no, I'm reading that badly. However, police allege that he breached his bail conditions by removing his ankle monitoring bracelet in January. They also suspect he committed murder last year while on bail. Despite issuing a warrant for his arrest, police have been unable to locate Paul, prompting the court to summons his suretors. Both women testified that they did not ensure Paul complied with his bail condition. His grandmother, a straw vendor, said she really saw him because of work and didn't have a contact for him despite providing her property papers to secure bail for him. Ms. Moxie said she usually spoke with Paul over the telephone, but never checked to see if he was attending court or reporting to police. The court finds suretors' conduct or the lack thereof to be reprehensible. Justice Grant Thompson said the legal obligation of being a surety was not respected by either Ms. Roll, that's his baby mother, or Ms. Moxie, that's his grandmother. This non-adherence, negligence to fully grasp the weight of the important position they sign onto does not make them any less culpable for the defendant's failure to attend. The sureties had a casual disregard for their obligation. It is clear to the court that neither surety made any constant checks to confirm the whereabouts of the defendant or sought to confirm that he was adhering to the set bail conditions. It was not until the defendant went missing, or to use the modern terminology, went off the grid, and the sureties attempt to contact him. Justice Grant Thompson said, just hold on with me for a second. Justice Grant Thompson said she would have considered a more favorable outcome if the women had done everything they were supposed to. But she said they rested on their laurels and must pay for that. She ordered them to pay $15,000 each in 2 installments. The judge said while the court was loath to make the women pay, it had to send a strong message to society. So here we are, when our children, our grandchildren, our relatives, close friends are on bail, we go and sign bail. We present land papers. And then, of course, we don't check. We expect that the accused murderer is going to be responsible and he's going to show up for court. In the case of this Negro defendant, while on bail, $30,000 bail, the police say he committed another murder. Isn't that interesting? He's on bail, $30,000. Grammy, She came up, must be with 15, and the mother of his baby must come up with another 15. They signed the bill. They put a brand new monitor on him. He tore that off, threw that in the well, and they can't find him. Grammy, who's a straw vendor, she's so busy because she would have heard the talk that 9.6 million tourists has been coming out there. So you know what that means. She's out there hustling. I don't know what the baby mom was doing, but they cannot find him. Meanwhile, on bail, all that freedom, and a monitor, he commits another murder. You see how stupid we are? We are stupid. So I'm going to say it. I'm a Bahamian. I am sovereign, but we are stupid. I'm going to say it again. I am a Negro. I'm in charge of the country, but we are stupid. He was accused of committing murder and we give him bail. And while he's on bail, for $30,000, he was successful in killing another person and we cannot find him. Isn't that amazing? What takes place in our country? But we say it's his human rights. So we give him $30,000 worth of human rights. We took his poor Grammy. We say, yeah, you could sign. And his girlfriend, she signed. And chances are these are citizens who have been abused. Many times when we sign bails, we are victimized into signing bail. Many times when we sign bail, we even can't read the bail. Sometimes we have to sign X. All right? I'm not suggesting that they fall in that category, but I won't be surprised. So it's a very sad situation that they have to find $30,000 to pay the bill, and the man cannot be found. And while he's on bail, it's a beautiful thing. While on bail, he committed another murder. So something is fundamentally wrong with our society. Something is fundamentally wrong with all of us. All right? And that is why I may have to go back into hiding. I'm going to have to hide from these Negroes. Because nobody seems to understand what is taking place. And therein lies the problem. My spiritual advisor, I'm certain you don't want to comment it, do you?
Well, I mean, the reality is with signing bail for individuals, it's almost like gambling. Unless you could afford to lose a certain amount of money or whatever it is, you just don't take a chance with it. I don't understand how come the grandmother didn't have a telephone contact for the man who she's granting the $30,000 bail for. That doesn't make any sense. If I'm going to do a $30,000 bail, I need to know where you live. Of course, I won't do it for somebody I don't know. I'll never, ever sign or put up bail for anyone I don't know. And if I know you, you have to be almost like a brother or sister, and that's it. You know? But other than that,
he's greater than a brother.
What is he? He's the grandson?
He is the girl's baby daddy.
Okay.
Okay? There's a special love for baby daddy.
Okay.
And Grammy. When you don't have mommy, you suck who?
Okay.
You suck Grammy.
Wow. So now, wow, that's interesting. So what's going to happen now? So now, what's the security though? What did they put up?
She put up the property paper.
All right.
This is the house paper.
All right. So
the land paper.
Right. So there's some equity. I don't know if the court would have done that kind of a search. So there must be some equity in those in that property. So if they can't come up with the cash, so that means they will have. But then the court is not holding the document.
What if they can't come up with the cash? What?
They have to go to the bank to borrow the money, but then the court is holding the document.
No, if they go to the bank, that's an easy process.
So the court will sign the document over to the bank?
No, you just send it to the lawyer for the bank in escrow, subject to the money being released.
Yeah.
If they're qualified, if Grammy is qualified
For the loan.
a loan.
What happens if they can't come up with the 30,000? Then they lose the property?
Well, what would then happen is that the court can have the commissioner of police in his capacity as what? What is the other capacity the commissioner of police holds?
He's a provost marshal, eh?
In his capacity, my spiritual advisor, as provost marshal, you can have a provost marshal sale, and therefore the property can be put up for auction.
Wow. Would they arrest those two people?
No, you just put the property up for auction, and under the Provost Marshal Act, the Commissioner of Police serving in that capacity would be able to sell the property, auction it, right? So if 30,000 is what the court requires, he could start at 30,000, or he can go to 30,000. And
Well, he'll have to start at 30 and go beyond that.
well, you know, you can only go beyond that if when me and you show up and he say $30,000 and I say 30,001 cent.
Well, Neil, so the reality is, though, what happens if he shows up after the sale?
Well, if he shows up, if they find him now, the penalty is still open. The judge could rescind it, but at the moment, they are now required to fine $30,000, $15,000 each.
Wow.
And that must be a warning lesson to all of us
Yes, absolutely.
who like to sign bail. When you sign bail, you're supposed to keep the prisoner. If you sign a bail for a prisoner, you're supposed to keep him. Now, prisoner, you're sleeping with us tonight. Yeah. Take it from me. I don't want to give you a case because the prisoner, he watches me every day. All right? And if I give you the example of the prisoner, he's going to know that I'm talking about him. And I don't want to get in no clash with him because he's no longer a prisoner. He's a free man. But
it is a serious matter. So, in essence, this young man jumped bail.
He jumped bail.
That's what they call it, right?
He jumped bail.
He jumped bail.
Yeah.
And think about it too, not to cut you off, right?
Go ahead.
When you analyze this, like what kind of person this man is, right? That you now put your girlfriend and your girlfriend's grandmother.
No, and your grandmother. It's not his
that's
grandmother.
that's his grandmother?
That's his grandma.
Lord, this man ain't got
Well, the better
no-
person that he should have put in
my
trouble. No.
goodness.
If you're going to put a
You don't
person
do that,
in-
though, Senator. That's dishonorable, man.
No, listen to me. Yes, it's dishonorable.
Oh,
if you're going to
man.
put anybody in problem, it's better to just put your ma and your pa, your grandma and them, and leave other people alone. All right? If you're gonna be no good, what could be no good with your family? All
If
right?
they're more tolerant of you, it'll be probably
Well,
easier.
they're your family.
Yeah.
All right,
It's easier
that's-
for them to forgive you, basically.
Well, I even ain't going into that. I'm only saying, don't be a nuisance to the public. If you want to be a nuisance, go be a nuisance to your ma and your pa and your grandma and them who responsible for raising you
I don't understand
and instilling some
why would he
discipline.
put his own family in that type of predicament. I mean,
Well, don't forget,
wow.
our
He's really
families.
he's a cold-hearted person.
Well, we specialize in cloaking children. So once you are specialized in cloaking, these are some of the things that can happen. I do know some people who tells their children, listen, don't get yourself in trouble, because if you do, I'm not signing your bail. You see? I'm not going to sign your bail. You're going to jail. And there are many, many young men that I know, they have been law-abiding because they were certain that their parents, their families would not have signed their bails. So they conducted themselves responsibly.
Yeah, he's no good.
But he's taken advantage of his
Yes,
grandmother.
own parent. I mean, his own family.
That's terrible. And how can you do it to your baby daddy or your baby mommy?
Oh, yeah.
How can you do it to your baby mommy? So it suggests that he didn't love them. Or he's concerned about either being hanged. Don't forget now, once you're charged with murder, you could be told one day that you are sentenced to death.
Yeah.
and your Negro neck could be popped. So the question now is it my neck or my grandma's neck? Is it my neck or my baby mummy's neck? So therein lies the problem, and that is why it's not a good idea to sign bails for these very capital offenses. You know, I could see you signing bail. My neighbor, he climbed up in the neighbor dilly tree, and so she complained, and I think the police charged him with stealing dilly. So when I heard about it, I said, yeah, you have to sign his bail, because the most we can have to worry about is whether or not he can teeth any more dillies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to very capital offenses, I mean, goodness me, he's given bail. During the period he's on bail, he commits another murder. It's a joke. It's a joke that you give a man bail and he commits another murder while on bail, takes off the ankle bracelet, throw it in the well, break off running, and is in hiding. Therein lies some of our social problems. So it's a level of madness in the society.
Yeah.
You're not going to ask him to turn himself in?
So, you know, the thing is what a hard lesson we learned here. I mean, and that's for others as well, that you really have to know this person who you signed this bail for. I'm talking to know their character. You know, you have to figure out if this person is going to, you know, be faithful to the bail conditions, or if this person you think is going to, you know, run, don't sign it, you know. But that's what I got to say on that side.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's a very sad thing. Very sad indeed. Yeah. My Mr. Producer, what time do we have?
We have 5 minutes in this.
5 minutes? Yeah. Huh?
Pardon me? Yeah, you got an ad you need to do.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Producer. I knew that there was something that I should have read. Yeah, so where's this ad, Mr. I have to find ad. Talk while I find ad. It's powerful. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking for the ad. It's what it is? Okay, I'm looking. Goodness me. Where's the ad?
You got it?
I ain't find the ad yet. I can't believe I have not erased the ad. I hope not.
The last one.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. Talk now? Catch! Ready for the ad? Catch Western Air's early bird flight to Fort Lauderdale daily, departing Nassau at 7 a.m. Your checked bag and carry-on are free. No charge or cancellation fees apply. Visit www.westernairbahamas.com to book up today. And that, of course, is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Yeah. Well, folks, I have some good friends who lives on Hercules Lane in Mason Addition, and they've had a death in the family. Do we have the photograph of Edward Charles Oaten? Edward Charles Oaten, who lives through Hercules Lane in Mason Addition, he passed away last night at age 74. Both he and his wife have been some senior officials in the governing Progressive Liberal Party. Definitely his wife, Mrs. Rutland Oaten. She is a stalwart counselor, And so her husband, the father of about 7 children and perhaps 15 grandchildren, he passed away on Tuesday the 20th of February 2024. So this is Charles Edward Oaten, and he's age 74, of Hercules Lane in Mason Addition. He passed away last night. He's been ailing for a couple of weeks or months, and of course he's survived by his wife, Progressive Liberal Party stalwart councillor Rutland Oaten, and of course he has like 7 children and about 15 grandchildren. So the family will soon announce when the funeral arrangement will take place. So I use this opportunity to extend my deepest sympathy to the wife, Rutland Oaten, to the son, Peter Cox Oaten, and D'Angelo Cox Oaten. I'm claiming them. Their grandmother is a Cox, and my mother is a Cox, and we are related. So Peter Oaten and D'Angelo Oaten, and of course there's quite a number of daughters, and they'll forgive me that I've not called their name today, but the 2 sons, they're my close friends. Anyway, this is Freedom March. I extend my sympathies to the Oaten family of Hercules Lane in Mason Addition. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save King Charles III. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Hold on, everybody. It's a wonderful day in the Bahamas. Hold on. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. I think we have some birthdays, don't we? My spiritual advisor.
Yeah, we got a couple birthdays.
Well, lead the way. You're the birthday kid today.
A couple birthdays to do today. Let's see. Oh yes. We got 2 sisters from the Church of Christ. They're celebrating their birthdays today. This is Mrs. Sister Vanessa Clark, I should say. She's celebrating the birthday. So happy birthday to our dear sister. Sending love and belated birthday sending love and belated happy birthday greetings to this energetic, always studying and striving for excellence sister. This is Vanessa Clark. She's the wife of our dear brother Arlington Clark of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. So happy belated birthday going out to Vanessa Clark, coming from your husband, Brother Ali, children, of course all the members of the Happy Power Church of Christ as well. So happy belated birthday to Vanessa Clark. And then Uncle Kali, let's go back here. We want to send a very special happy birthday shout out to this young lady. Her name is Kimberly Colley. It's coming from your family and friends, especially your children, Mateo and Kaylee. We love you and wish you many more birthdays to come. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday, to Kimberly Colley. All right, then happy birthday to Christoph Boy Edgecombe, coming from his mother, father, sister, brother, grandparents, nieces, uncle, aunties, especially from his one good aunt, Melissa. Enjoy your day, Christoph Boy Edgecombe. We hope you live to enjoy many, many more. And then we want to send a happy birthday shout out to Brother Carlton Ellis. This is another brother here from the Happy Park Church of Christ. Happy birthday to Brother Carlton Ellis. It's coming from your wife, Of course, the family members of the Happy Power Church of Christ. He's a talented musician, hardworking, all around, cool brother. We're singing happy birthday to him. Of course, it's coming from your wife and, of course, the Happy Power Church of Christ. We hope you live to enjoy many, many more. So happy birthday to our dear brother, Carlton Ellis. All right, who else do we have today? That's it? Okay, good. Okay, that's it. Short birthday showers today. Great.
This was powerful.
Yeah.
So you're finished?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, everybody. God bless each and every one of you who's celebrating a birthday and or a happy anniversary. Well, the Department of Fisheries has continued to warn that it is illegal at this point to fish and to catch, well, to fish groupers. And they've had a sting operation taking place between the Department of Fisheries and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, culminating in the capture of over 1,500 pounds of grouper. And Gregory Bettel, who I think is the Director of Fisheries, he's warning citizens that it is against the law. They've carried out a series of sting operations, culminating in finding quite a lot of groupers on some of the mail boats. So we want to warn members of the public, the grouper season, if I have it correctly, will not be reopened until the 1st of March. So, for heaven's sake, be law abiding. I didn't realize that the season had closed since the 1st of December last year. It was only on Sunday, while I was talking with a Negro female over fish, that it was drawn to my attention that she was the recipient of a large grouper. And when it dawned on her that it was a grouper that the Negro fisherman had given to her free of charge, she said to him, I do not want this grouper. And the fisherman was kind of surprised and shocked and said, listen, I'm not trying to be fresh, you know. No, I just want you to have the grouper. She said, no, I don't think you're trying to be fresh. I think you are acting unlawfully. And she politely returned the grouper. So I thought that was exciting that a wonderful Bahamian woman granted a grouper and recognized that it was illegal, that she returned it to the fisherman. I want to say to her publicly that I'm a justice of the peace, and any fisherman who gives her a grouper unlawfully, I call upon her to bring it to me in my capacity as a justice of the peace, so that I can have it seen by the relevant authorities, and that would be powerful. Yeah, so that make sure that the relevant authorities are aware of that. And I think that would be very powerful indeed. Well, on Monday morning, I became very distracted when it was drawn to me that an intellectual debate was taking place between the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party and the minister responsible for foreign affairs, Fred Mitchell, and the Free National Movement national chairman, the medical doctor, Dr. Dwayne Sands. And they got into a major debate. I was so excited by that debate because, you know, I have confessed to the country that I do have a terrible leg, and it has been so painful that when I walk in more recent time, I was compelled to walk with a cane. And but depending on who I see, if I see you coming, I may hide the cane and pretend, despite the pain, that everything is fine. Well, would you believe it? I happened to call upon the nation's leader, Prime Minister Philip Davis. And when I was told that I could now enter, I hid the cane and boldly I walked in. But at a point, the pain was so uncomfortable, and the Prime Minister recognized that something was wrong. And ever since March of 2023, when I collapsed at Arawak Key, if the Prime Minister sees me and we are close together, he would ask me, how am I doing medically? So I said to the Prime Minister, my leg is it's hurting. And then I confide to him one or two medical secrets. So he said to me, well, have you not gone to see Dr. Dwayne Sands? So I said, no, I've not gone to see Dr. Dwayne Sands. He said, well, you should go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. And there I was put in a situation. So I said to the Prime Minister, do you know I've been trying to see him from October? And I suspect that I must have said something on national radio and TV that upset him. He has refused to see me. So the Prime Minister said, don't tell me that. You go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. He's not that kind of person. He will not let politics interfere. And the Prime Minister insisted, go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. Your health is so important. So I thought that was very interesting that the Prime Minister insists that I should go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. But as I told the Prime Minister, I said, listen, I think I may have said something, because I've been attacking the FNM so viciously that Dr. Dwayne Sands has been very, very busy. But the Prime Minister has continued to say, go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. So I thought that was very interesting in view of the fact that Fred Mitchell and Dr. Dwayne Sands has had this intellectual debate going on, and as they debated and Mr. Mitchell called on PLPs to boycott, I said to myself, well, certainly Mr. Mitchell wouldn't mean me, because although the parties say I'm not an FNM, I'm an FNM. But as an FNM and or citizen, Dr. Dwayne Sands has abandoned me. I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing, but I may show you my foot so that you can see it, or I may put it in a bag so you can see how big it is and hide it. So these are some of the things that is going on in the country, and now that I relax, I find it so amusing when the Prime Minister tells me, go and see Dr. Dwayne Sands. So I don't know, maybe the Prime Minister is going to have to call Dr. Dwayne Sands and say to him, will you see Brother Monker? But when I told the Prime Minister, I said, man, he's so busy, he's not able to see me, and so forth and so on. The Prime Minister insists. So I said, but PM, I've been attacking the FNM so hard that you all may have to find me a PLP doctor, because my legs are hurting. Anyway, I want Mr. Mitchell to withdraw his call for PLPs not to go to Dr. Dwayne Sands, because Dr. Dwayne Sands is a medical expert. He is a vascular surgeon, and there are hundreds of citizens who needs to see him. Like me, I need to see him. So I would hope that their intellectual dispute will not be where you call for the boycott of Dr. Dwayne Sands, for he is a valuable physician. So I thought that. I call on the women to know that I am under physical stress. I want the women them to know that I am under physical stress. My health has been tremendously compromised, and I'm not ashamed to call upon you that wherever you see Dr. Dwayne Sands, say to Dr. Dwayne Sands, will you see Brother Rodney Monker? And he's willing to pay. I'm willing to have cookouts to raise the money to pay Dr. Dwayne Sands. Are you one of the people there? Do you support my leadership? Would you love to see me live a couple more years? Call Dr. Dwayne Sands. Tell him that whatever I said that upset him as it relates to my attack on the F&M, it's only politics. Okay? So, this is powerful. Well, having said that, what time is it, my spiritual advisor?
About 5:15 or so.
How much?
About 5:15.
Okay. Do you have a topic, or are we going to continue along my pursuit? Any?
I see a very interesting article in the Tribune headline, where they are saying there was some police involved. Let me see how they put it. Should you say shooting or killings that ended up in the coroner's court, and the coroner's court has now deemed those shootings manslaughter. Sorry. Let me see. They've deemed those homicide. Right?
Okay.
The question I have is this. What happens next? Because the coroner's court can't determine any criminal action, eh?
Well, I want you to hold.
I don't know if you can't answer that, eh?
Well, I am able to answer all questions.
No, you're not a lawyer, so I mean, I wouldn't expect you to answer
I didn't
that.
thought you were. I didn't thought we were playing lawyers. Are we playing?
Yeah,
lawyers?
I'm just wondering if you can answer that. That's an interesting thing. You see, well, there were a couple of police-involved shootings that were determined by the coroner's court that these shootings were homicide. So
Okay.
now, these police-involved killings.
Okay.
Now, if the coroner's court has deemed these killings to be homicide,
Okay.
there's liability on the police behalf.
Well, let's put it this way. The coroner court, having made a finding, the police officers have certain rights that is available to them.
Can they appeal the coroner's
They
decision?
perhaps can file an appeal. That's
Okay.
one.
Okay.
The acting director of public prosecution, Cordell Frazier, a woman, she may look at what the coroner say, and since she is independent of the attorney general, she might decide that it is a matter that she could pursue, right?
Could she?
I would submit that she can. Nevertheless, the Free National Movement under Hubert Ingram had repealed the Coroner's Act many, many years ago, so I have to think about it, where Coroner's Court even had more powers than they do have today, and he had stripped them of certain powers. I would have to think more, because you may not be aware, I have played Coroner's Court before. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, but the key word is,
Are you aware
is
of that?
play.
Are you aware
We
of
ain't
that?
playing today, man. This
Are
is
you
serious
aware of
question.
that?
No.
Playing
no.
coroner's
Yeah,
court,
you don't play
meaning
now.
you go before the coroner's court and you advance legal arguments.
Okay.
All right?
So you were serious then?
Yeah, but I was playing it. It's
right.
if you're not a now, so you're going to suck your teeth.
I got you.
And not be educated. Well, I'm going to ignore you.
I got you.
the spiritual advisor is not aware of what role I played in the year 2006. Since he doesn't research and since he doesn't know me, he doesn't know that I had the opportunity to you didn't know. Hey, watch out for me, my brother. Watch out for me. Go and check the record.
You could go in the court.
If I could, I've already done it.
Okay.
2006 to now is how much years?
All right, that's a lot of years, man.
Huh? 2006 to now is how much years?
That's 18 years.
All right then, 18 years ago.
That's
so
18
watch
years,
out for
man.
when I'm talking. Most people don't know when I secretly step in the courts. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what is going to happen. I think the police will testify. There are some information that did not come out. I don't want to go into it, but there are many things that perhaps each side could have produced. There were information that the police could have produced that would have helped their case. They failed to produce it, and they may not have produced it because, one, they didn't remember. Two, they didn't have the information available to them. The same is applicable to the family. So, you know, I watch it, I listen attentively to it, and it dawned on me that there was certain information, had the police produced, perhaps could have gone in their favor.
Okay.
And then, of course, there was information that the family could have further produced, but in any event, the jury has made a decision, and the question is, what will the police do? And I suspect that they will appeal.
Okay.
And we'll see what
All right,
happens.
so we'll see what happens. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Well, as you talk about that, let us not forget that an off-duty police officer who reportedly shot at police and attempted to evade arrest is in police custody along with his mother and 4 other individuals following a shooting incident that occurred on Sunday, February 18, 2024. And according to reports, around 8 p.m., police were alerted via the shot spotter technology of gunshots being discharged in the vicinity of Exuma Street and Cotto Avenue. Further details from that report reveal that the occupants of a white Honda Accord were responsible. Police and Defense Force officers attached to Operation Ceasefire, while on routine saturation patrol, observed a vehicle fitting the description leaving the area at a high rate of speed. Officers attempted to stop the vehicle. However, the driver sped off, which resulted in the officers pursuing the vehicle into the area of Bahamas Game Boulevard. That's what the police said. It is reported that while in the area, 3 Negro males occupants opened fire on the officers, resulting in an exchange of gunshots and the suspect's vehicle crashing near the baseball stadium. 2 of the Negro males were able to evade the officers initially. However, officers officers acting on information were able to arrest 1 of the suspects, who received severe laceration after attempting to scale the wall of a nearby secondary school. You know where the government high school is?
Yeah.
That's where that happened. He was identified as an off-duty police officer and was taken to the hospital where he was treated and discharged. So this is a case where a police officer was a part of a drive-by. So drive-by, it has become so interesting, if I could use that adjective, that now the Commissioner of Police is faced with the fact that he now has in custody at least one police officer whom the Defense Force and the Royal Bahamas Police Force is accusing of shooting after on-duty police officers and Defense Force officers. So that is what is taking place there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I think there was a response to how the police force actually take care or what's the word I'm looking for? Deal with officers who go,
Contrary to the law?
Yeah, yeah. How do they deal with these officers, though? I mean, because they have a sworn duty to serve and protect, but when they run afoul of the law,
Policemen,
what happens to them?
they're prosecuted.
They go before a police tribunal,
A
or
police is a citizen.
yeah, I understand.
And he's
that.
not above the law. And if a policeman acts in such a way that he commits a crime, there's nothing the Commissioner of Police could do for you
It's out of his hands.
other than to pray that God will have mercy on your soul. We've had policemen who, there was a police officer in 1984, he caught his wife keeping sweetheart, so he showed up in his uniform and he shot her.
Wow.
So when Central Detective Unit arrived, he was there, if I remembered correctly. He cooperated and they put him in the car. He was charged and he went to prison.
Yeah, okay.
This is Freedom March. God save the Royal Bahamas Police Force. God save citizens everywhere. God save King Charles III. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. It's powerful. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. I want to thank members of the public who have been sending me a series of texts recommending doctors that I should go and see. I thank you for that, and I thank my former schoolmate who called me to recommend a doctor. I think it's powerful, and God bless you. Well, it's the time that we answer
5:30.
calls. So I'm going to turn it over to my spiritual advisor, and Bradley.
Yes, okay, we're going to open the lines now. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. We have 3 lines that you can call today. Mr. Producer, that call in particular is coming through this cell phone here. I don't know why. But ask that person to dial direct to the board. Do you have a call coming in? Just answer it? No. Okay, so the numbers to call is 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0, sorry about that, 776. We don't have any calls yet, Santa. Hold on. We may have a call.
Okay.
No calls. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can go ahead with your agenda.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the problems that we are faced with in many instances involving these police shooting and so forth is we have to tell our young people that you cannot shoot at the police. You just have to tell them that. If the police say stop, stop. Throw down your gun, throw down your gun. I wish I could give you a story of a bad man who, it is alleged, met a man that he did not know. Met a man who did not do him anything. And he executed the man.
Oh.
Can you imagine that you run into a stranger who did not do you anything? You just run into him by accident. and you thought that you had the right to kill him.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hi, good afternoon, spiritual advisor
Good afternoon.
and Brother Mankar.
Sir,
You talk about rogue cops on the force.
Right.
Brother Mankar, you would know. I don't think spiritual advisor in the early 70s on Grand Bahama, there was a kidnapping of the banker's daughter by 2 top cops. Now, I wouldn't go into details, but I wish Mr. Paul Thomas could hear it, because I think he was the one that cracked that case. You know? And the next thing with your friend, sorry to hear about that, but Brother Michael, you sure you ain't walking on nothing there? That was a good one.
What's that?
That was a good one, Brother Michael.
I thank you.
Okay.
Okay, 3237, we lost that call. Anyhow, go ahead, Sandra. You were saying something?
Yeah, what was I saying? And the man bragged about it. And he was invincible. Can you imagine that? Poison ain't do you nothing. And you kill him and you boast. I run into him and I decided I'm going to kill him. These are some of the things that is happening in our society. Sometimes the police is aware of it but cannot produce the evidence. And citizens who might be aware dare not open their mouths for fear of being killed.
You got a call? Take this call quickly.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Spiritual advisor, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Okay.
That's good. Brother Manka,
Sir,
I got to talk to you in codes. I supposed to reach out to you this morning, yes or no?
continue, eh?
Yes or no? I supposed to reach out to you this morning.
You
10
heard,
o'clock.
and I'm talking to you in code. Continue.
Okay. Sunday.
If it's God's will.
Good. We leave that just like that.
Code 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You live. Hello, caller. You there? All right. We lost that call.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like to send out a shout to Mr. Henry Butler on the passing of his wife. And I'd like to send out a shout to all the senior citizens around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
To the sick and to the short, and especially those around the family island. And I'd like to send out a shout to every family which are about to deport their loved one back to Mother's Street, that he has no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. And let us continue to pray for those incarcerated. And let us continue to pray for the male seeds of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas like never yet before. And when Zion travailed, sons and daughters will be born into the kingdom. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves. And then Zion travailed, sons and daughters will be born into the kingdom. And I'd like to send out a shout to everybody that knows Ezekiel, better known as Brother Joe. And you have a blessed afternoon, and God bless you. And you're still on top of the mountain top.
Ezekiel,
God bless
Ezekiel, Ezekiel. This is powerful.
yeah, thank you so much. 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. All right, you have to turn your radio down, please. We're getting the feedback.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'd actually like to ask one question as a civil servant.
Okay.
Government have money to do everything else except pay a little overtime?
Government has money to what?
Pay and do everything else except pay for a little overtime for the people who didn't put in the work.
Okay, so where did you work overtime?
If I say specifically, this might be a problem.
Pardon me?
If I speak specifically, spiritual advisor, this
Okay.
might be a problem.
All right, so how you want
But
to
a
get...
lot of people might have an idea who I am.
So
I have spoken today with a government official. I don't want to say which department because I don't want anybody to harass him. He has told me that the government has acknowledged that there are some people who are owed money and are entitled, and they are now proceeding to pay those monies. It might not give you any assurance, but I spoke to him because someone had come to my office and demanded of me that I call that senior government official, and I did it.
Yeah, Mr. Mungo, because, hey, to take the time out and the dedication to actually, go out there and perform while everybody else off.
Yeah. I think you will be paid based on what this official said to me today. I think you will be paid. He has told me that they're moving, and I don't want to put it on what took place in the parliament today, because I understood that the Prime Minister submitted a midterm budget, if I understood it correctly. These are highly technical matters. But let's watch and see, and between you and I, let's keep an eye on your department.
Yeah, I would hope so, Mr. Mungo.
Yeah.
Mungo.
Okay. You take good care. Keep me up to date.
Yes.
God bless, Bob.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
You too. Take care of yourself. 323-7775, 6980775, and 6980776. Do we have a call, Miss Medusa? No. No call, Sandra.
Yeah, so we have a lot of situation. Yeah, there are police who have gone contrary to law, but the law makes provision for them to be punished if there is evidence. Nobody's above the law. Here in the Bahamas, anyone could be eventually prosecuted if you went astray, afoul of the law. So that is the hope that and faith that I have in the system.
Great.
Yeah. Any other call?
No.
Well,
No, it's 323-7775, 6980775, 6980776. Well, Sandra, what else is in the newspaper?
well, let's see what else I might find to entertain you, my spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
I did see something earlier.
I see where they're saying tourism is. Now, I wonder what period that is for. Tourism is up about 17%, I'm understanding, which is good, which is very good. We need those figures. But I'm just wondering what period that is for.
Well, let's say who is reporting 9.6 million tourists?
I don't know. Are we? The Bahamas?
What is the
Hold
name
on, let me see.
of that place out there?
Okay,
Because
right. Well,
notwithstanding...
Bahama?
No. The port.
Oh, the port, the cruise port.
The cruise port. See, this is something that I want members of the public to take
cruise
note
port.
of. Notwithstanding what Mike Morrow tells you, notwithstanding the millions of tourists that they have alleged are coming in to the country, there is no evidence that they are paying the 2% to the Yes Foundation. No one will tell us. No one will produce the record to show us if Mike Morrow and them are complying with the agreement.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to speak to Mr. Monka
Go ahead.
concerning the morgue in Harbor Island.
The morgue?
Yes,
Where you
my
keep-
grand aunt, she was 97 and she died.
Well, please have my
Last
sympathy.
week.
Please have my
Sympathy is to you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, we had to take her dead body on one of the little ferry boats around the Devil's Backbone to Spanish Wells
Wow.
to the morgue. I understand the morgue has been out of operation for some time.
The morgue?
Yes, the morgue in Harbor Island, they either have to go across the Lustra
Okay.
or to Spanish Wells.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think the Minister of Health needs to address that issue urgently, please.
I quite agree. If the morgue is not working, the Minister of Health has to repair it. But the morgue on Spanish Wells, that's working.
That's
Okay.
where we had to take her on a little ferry boat
Wow. Okay. All right.
around that treacherous point.
Yeah.
Devil's Backbone.
The devil's backbone.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm certain that representatives of the Ministry of Health would have heard your complaints, and it is my hope and prayer that they will be proactive and fix it. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Brother Monka,
So,
Mr. Eliza,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. Yeah, who wants support?
I'm not sure who owns the port. All I know is Mike Morrow is the big kahuna out there. And I do know that there is an agreement which says that 2% of the proceed is to be paid into the special fund, the Yes Foundation, which is to be used on youth education and sports. No one has produced any evidence to show whether or not the funds are being collected and being deposited.
Why do you ask?
So, how much interest does the Bahamas government have in the port?
My spiritual advisor,
That's a good question. I don't know.
I thought that the Bahamas government had about what?
More
I'm-
than 50%.
How much?
How much?
More than 50%.
More than 50%?
More than 50%.
He said more than 50%.
Are you sure about that?
Well, let's go on that, and we could check the records tonight. We'll check the records.
Yeah, they're looking for the show list.
No, they're not. They're not the controlling shareholders.
No, I was wondering about that. I don't think so either.
No. They're not.
I don't think so.
So,
Yeah.
so you're going to tell me you're going to put the port, the actual port of the country, in the hands of a minority group?
Investors. yeah.
It is in the hands of people who look like they're from in the Middle East. They look like the people that the Americans call terrorists. In my eyesight.
Yeah, you have to turn the radio down. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was 350 million, eh? How much was the
I'm
project?
not sure. I can't answer that.
Government got to enforce the law. If the law say, like you said, that 2% will be paid to...
Yes. Ought to be paid to this foundation. And there's no evidence. They may have paid it, but nobody will say so.
Then tell the government to enforce the law.
Yes,
I
yes,
shall
we
talk.
got you, caller.
I shall talk to the
We hear you.
government. I like talking to the government. I
All
shall
right.
talk to the government.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You live.
Hello.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
I would like to call to let Mr. Rodney Munson know that my mother submits this leadership.
Man, this
Really?
is powerful.
Okay.
Listen, your mother must be a blessed woman.
She submits. I talk about every day. I don't care what she has to do. She finds time to watch your show.
This is powerful. God bless your mother. I want you to love her and respect her with all your might.
And her name is Dawn Lowe.
Dawn Lowe,
Dawn Lowe is her name. Could
Wow.
I put her on the phone to speak to you?
please bring her on.
And let me tell you something.
Yes?
I am a Conky Joe young man.
Yes.
Is your mother Conky Joe?
Yeah, low.
No, my mother is from Elutra.
Okay.
Her maiden name is Cooper.
Cooper.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And my father is from Abercove.
Okay.
And they married and make me.
Okay.
And this is powerful. Lord, I thank you that the descendants of the Conky Joes have accepted my political leadership.
I will listen to you, Mr. Mankind. What you say we must do, we will do.
This is powerful. I want you to know that I'm supporting the governing Progressive Liberal Party.
I don't think you mean that.
I'm sure of that. So you have to reflect on that.
Yeah, Lowe's, you know.
Because, just hold on, the Lowe's are my
F&Ms.
family.
F&Ms.
Don't stop.
I'm from Green Title K.
Okay, cousin.
All right then. And you know down the road where the artist is?
Yes, sir.
It ain't too far from them. We will make.
Well, my mother is fighting me for the phone. She wants to speak to you.
Bring your mother on, because she sounds like she is the daughter of a policeman.
Good afternoon.
Hello, my dear.
How are you?
Are you of the Coopers of Green Title Gate?
No.
Okay.
Meadow Point.
Okay, Elutra.
Gus Cooper is my uncle.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're a wonderful woman. Is it
Yeah.
really true that you have accepted my leadership?
Every day I watch you, every day.
Listen, we must talk to your son. You let your son know that politically I'm on the right path.
Okay, I'll let him know.
And the right path is Philip Davis and the governing Progressive Liberal Party.
Yes, sir.
This is powerful. You do well.
You take care now.
This is powerful. Lord, I thank you for the women them around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who's accepted my leadership, and this is powerful. My spiritual advisor, behold, one of the woman
That's
them.
amazing.
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. Hello, caller, you there? I'm sorry we lost that. You can call back, 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller, you're live.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to let Mr. Manka know that 49% of the port is owned by Nassau Cruise Port Limited,
Right.
Go ahead.
and the other 49% owned by Global Port Holding, and 2% is owned by the S Fund.
I thank you for your information.
Just so you know, Mr. Manka,
Yes. Thank you.
just so you know, we have nephew in common, so I'll give you a hint.
Listen, when I heard your voice, I said unto myself, is this the man who shares a nephew with me?
Yes, it is, Mr. Manka.
Who has the sister and who has the brother?
Yes, sir. You are correct.
Thank you. This is powerful.
Thank you, caller. No more calls, Sandra.
Huh?
There are no more calls.
So, are we coming today?
We got 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Yeah, so.
So, what?
So the cruise port 49, and 2. Okay.
Yeah, 2%, and there is no evidence that Mora ain't safe, you know. I want people to know that Mike Mora ain't safe, and we got to pray for him. Anyway, today I happened to have gone to, where did I go? I went to the back of Arawa Key, where I met a Negro lady by the name of Rose. Rose operates a restaurant in the Arawa Key port, and I was sent to Rose, and she has a nice restaurant called the G-A-L-Y, I think it's called. I can't pronounce it. But Rose is a wonderful cook. And Rose, I want to thank you for the liver. The liver was well cooked, and it didn't have enough pepper. One pepper is not enticing for me, but I thank you for the one pepper. Perhaps if I visit you tomorrow, I'll be comfortable with 2 big goat peppers. That would be powerful.
Sorry. Welcome to Freedom March, caller, you're live.
Hi, Mr. Munger, how you doing?
Listen, I am fine. How are you?
I am one of the women's them, and every day we watching your show. My niece tell me to call you. She want to say hello.
Bring on your niece.
Hold on. Talk to Mr. Munger.
Hello?
Hello, niece. How are you? Are you fine?
Yes, sir.
And do you go to school?
Yes, sir.
And in the night, do you say?
fine.
And do you say your Our Father prayer?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're a wonderful child. God bless you. And listen to
Yes, sir.
listen to your parents, okay? You're one of the children, then. This is powerful.
This is Uncle.
Thank you, my dear. This is powerful. She's one of the children, then. God bless her.
Yeah, 323-7775. You have a great responsibility, so you got to be responsible, Sandra.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
I heard Mr. Munker said just now that he is a justice of the peace.
Yes, I am.
I have a document that I would like him to look at for me.
Okay.
Where could I find him?
Take my number, 801.
Hold on. 801.
57 60. 801
801
57
760.
Call me
Okay.
8:80 tomorrow morning.
Okay, sir.
I thank you. Be safe.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All
This
right.
is powerful.
We got another call? Okay, welcome to Freedom March, caller. You live. Hello, caller, you there? We lost that call.
Yeah, we have lost the caller.
That's it for today. All right, we got 2 more minutes before the show ends, Sandra.
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, I was distracted by a text. So,
Yeah.
folks, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw very interesting coming across the police notifications, they are now arresting a lot of folks and taking them before the courts for breaching the Bail Act via the ankle monitoring. Now, one of the things that caught my attention, it says this person's being sought or this person being charged by the ankle monitoring unit. So is the police force monitoring now folks with these ankle bracelets?
I
didn't know the police had a unit.
Perhaps the monitoring unit.
What is that?
You said ankle
monitoring unit.
Well, perhaps it is those who have violated. All right.
But who's this unit that's monitoring them?
Don't forget, it has been privatized. It's owned by a private company.
Oh, so they're calling them the unit, and that unit is not a part of the police force.
Well, you have me confused. I'm not sure.
Because it's on the police notification.
So it would mean that it is a unit of the police.
Oh, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the police is monitor folks who wear an ankle bracelet.
No. Suppose they are told that John Doe is off the circuit. Then obviously they would have to kick in to monitor and to locate them.
Okay.
All right. Don't forget there's a man who's on bail. His mother and his baby mother, his grandmother and his baby's mother, has to find a total of $30,000. So the police now has to go out to find him. Listen, folks, do well. To all the people who have accepted my leadership, pray for me. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. God save my spiritual advisor.
I'm saved already, man.
This is powerful. Do well, everybody. Take good care. Be safe.
Until tomorrow.
Fred Mitchell, Dr. Dwayne Sands, peace.